I turned myself in on my own accord to try to get this taken care of. So I'm just hoping to see if I can get a bond today, so I can be home for Christmas. I paid the bondsman $500 to get me to court. When I called the bondsman tells me he's out of town. I don't know.
I don't understand why you're telling me that it's up to your bondsman to get you to court. That
So I'm
looks
going to be
like
sitting
where it
here
is.
till January 3rd.
What?
I'm going to be sitting here till January 3rd after I've been sitting in jail 10 days.
This judge is about to decide whether this man gets to go home for Christmas or spend it behind bars. He's currently in custody for a theft he committed 4 years ago. Even though he turned himself in just 10 days ago, he originally skipped his court date, which led the judge to deny him bond. The tension in the courtroom is real. You can feel the weight of this decision. Everyone's watching closely. Now, I'm honestly torn on this one. On one hand, he did the right thing by turning himself in, but skipping court in the first place definitely complicates things. Do you think he deserves to go home for the holidays, or should the judge keep him locked up? Let me know what you think in the comments. And if you enjoy content like this, make sure to like and subscribe. Let's get into it.
How you doing today?
Fine. Are you Mr. Kelly?
Yes, sir.
All right. I'm Judge Sanders. We're just having a docket call today. That's the purpose of this. And what it is, Mr. Kelly, is that's a 2020 case that you had. And apparently, the state is requesting that your probation on that case be revoked and that you.
Yes, sir. So, I bonded out on that case, correct? And I paid the bondsman $500 to get me to court. When I called the bondsman tells me he's out of town. So I called Judge Sanderfield's office 3 times. Then I called the court clerk 3 times, and I called the district attorney's office and try to get a Zoom link. They told me they couldn't give me a Zoom link on the case. So I called back my bondsman. He says, well, what you need to do is start walking. So I called my attorney, Watts, at the time, and he said there was nothing he could do for me. So 10 days ago, I just got a new job working at Kohl's, making $27 an hour. 10 days ago, on Friday the 13th, I go turn myself in to Sedgwick County to get this taken care of. And then, I guess they finally just get a hold of you guys a couple of days ago on the 20th and said that I was ready to be picked up. But I turned myself in. I did everything I was supposed to do to try to get to court on back in July. I did. I mean, I called everybody I could, tried the judge, everybody, so my bond wouldn't get revoked. And then, I turned myself in on my own accord to try to get this taken care of. So I'm just hoping to see if I can get a bond today, so I can be home for Christmas. I did do my part of turning myself in and did everything I could back in July to get here. And I just want to get this taken care of. It's a 4-year-old case, sir. And like I said, I just got a $27 an hour paying job, and I just would like to get it taken care of.
It looks like back in June, your judge revoked your bond. You failed to appear.
Yes.
The court issued a bench warrant and a no bond hold.
Yes, sir. I understand that because I didn't show up in court, but it wasn't my fault. I paid the bondsman $500 to get me here, and he couldn't get me here. It was his duty to get me here when I paid him $500. I bonded out and gave him $500 to make sure I got here. And then when he told me he couldn't get me here, I called everybody I could. The judges' chambers. I called the district attorney. I called everybody I could, and it was all documented. And I even called Mr. Watts, my lawyer at the time, and no one could help me out. But now that I got this new paying job, I turned myself in on my own accord. I figured I should at least be able to get a bond so I can I'm trying to do what's right here, by turning myself in and getting this taken care of. And
At first, I was honestly starting to feel bad for the guy, but now he's just talking crazy. He seriously thinks that because he paid his bondsman $500, It was the bondsman's job to drag him to court? That's not how it works. I don't know if someone actually told him that, or if he's just playing dumb, but either way, it's not a good look. The bondsman puts up your bail, not your babysitter. At the end of the day, this guy needs to own up to his actions. Pointing fingers, blaming the bondsman, and crying about missing Christmas isn't going to get him out of this mess, and honestly, it looks like it might just be making things worse. It's all in the judge's hands now. And yeah, it's a tough situation. Your human instinct is to feel bad for the guy, but at this point, it really seems like he's just trying to dodge responsibility. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments, and let's get back into it.
I don't understand why you're telling me that it's up to your bondsman to get you to court.
Well, I paid him $500 to make sure I got here.
How much was your bond?
$5,000.
Well, that's just the bondsman's fees for putting the money up for you. That's not the.
I figured that's the, well,
That's not
ain't
to
it their
pick you
job
up
to
and
make sure I
haul you
get
to
here?
court.
Ain't it their job to make sure I get to court though?
No. Not unless you got some special arrangement with him, and that's nothing that the court has to do. And that's just his fee to make a bond for you so that you don't have to put up any money. Well, all right, in any event, Judge Satterfield has set that as a no bond hold. She wants to see you before she'd even consider bond, and I'm not gonna do a sideways appeal on this and overrule her. So
I can't get no bond?
nope, no bond. Now, what they have done is give you a special setting, expedited hearing on your case. And this is for bond revocation. And it's at 1:30 on January the 3rd. And that's to be in person.
And Your Honor,
And no bond until that time. Yes, Mr. Regier.
based off of the state's information, that is a 1 o'clock setting, but I believe it is an in-person setting on January 3rd.
I thought I said that. Maybe I didn't. Yeah, it's in person, right?
That is the state's understanding, Your Honor.
Yes, I understand that too. So, that
So I'm
looks
gonna
like
be sitting
where it
here
is.
till January 3rd.
What?
I'm gonna be sitting here till January 3rd after I've been sitting in jail 10 days.
Yes. Well, I might suggest that you do. I take it that you don't have money for a lawyer, and Mr. Watts had previously represented you. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, what you might do, because I'm at this point, I'm going to go ahead and reappoint him for you, is you might get a hold of him and see.
Ain't no way of getting a hold of him. I've been trying to get a hold of him for a week.
You have his number?
Yeah, I got his number. My wife got his number. My mom got his number. We all been trying to get a hold of him for a week. I've been sitting in Sedgwick County Jail for a week.
Well, I'd suggest that maybe you try to give him a call this afternoon. If in any event,
How's that gonna help me any?
well, he could maybe file an emergency motion with Judge Satterfield, because I'm not going to overrule another judge here on that.
All right, so I guess we done here then.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Thank you. You're excused.
Your Honor, could you repeat the time for the January 3rd date,
Yes.
please?
It's January the 3rd at 1 p.m. and she wants that in person. So I take it that means he needs to be at the courthouse in court.
Do you guys think the judge made the right call here? Personally, I do. Yeah, spending Christmas in jail sucks, but that's the reality when you're out here stealing. Actions have consequences. This guy made his choices, and now he's facing them. And the whole time, he's crying in court, blaming the bondsman like it was his job to make sure he showed up after skipping a court date. That's just not how it works. You mess up, you face the music. Simple as that. Honestly, it just feels like this guy needs to grow up. And one part that really didn't sit right with me, when he said he was making $27 an hour at Kohl's. Look, I could be wrong, but that seems like a stretch. I don't think Kohl's is starting anyone at $27 an hour. If you know something I don't, feel free to correct me in the comments, but I'm calling cap on that one. Either way, the judge made the right decision. I really respect him for putting his foot down here. The law is clear: if you miss your court date, you're violating your bond. You don't just get a pass because it's the holidays. I think the verdict was fair. But what do you guys think? Did the judge get it right, or should he have handled it differently? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And if you enjoyed this breakdown of the court hearing, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more content just like this. Thanks so much for watching, and take care.